woman, and she was one of the first to settle at South Indian Lake. She lived to be 113. 113. Wow. I'm tired now, and I'm not even 40 yet. I can't imagine what 113 is going to be like. She had 23 children, and they had children, and those children had children, and pretty soon you had a community. So she's kind of the root, I guess you might say. Right on. The root of what I call my story. So I wrote this piece for my great-granny Annie. It's called Good Skin Woman. Granite smooth skin, unfailing hands, bones too strong to break. Good skin, that woman. Smoke hair, eyes rock sharp, she saw the wheat to go coming. Tells the story while smoking a pipe. Looks across the water. From here, you can see everything. Her eyes cut a horizon. My mother, Edna Moose, is one of Annie Moose's descendants, as are many South Indian Lakers. And my mother's story I know a little bit more of. Hers is not an easy story. She spent her childhood in Wipascat at South Indian Lake. But like many of our people, she was abducted and taken to residential school. Like many of our people, she was enslaved and abused and forbidden to be who she was, a Cree woman. And like many of our people, her child was ripped and robbed from her of all innocence, sacredness, and love. And like many, she ran and hid from that for a really long time. Unable to find the language for what happened there, she would say, "There are no words for what they did to us." So she was silent. On the first day, all us kids had to do it, eh? A lot of us cried, all huddled together like sheep, bleeding and pushing, trying to melt into each other, more scared than we'd ever been. One by one, we're peeled off, taken into a little room, us left behind, catch the glint of a sharp edge, hear the crying before the door closes. Some never had it done. Their long, perfect braids, a measure of their seasons, an umbilical cord to Mama, Mother Earth, away back home, cut away. Just like sheep, they go in fat and fluffy, come out bald as babies, except all skinny and sick-looking. The boys got buzzed bald, like dandelions blown of all its wishes. The girls bowl cut into cookie-cutter girls. When it's my turn, I climb onto the cold gray chair, look up at the nun. My eyes blink terror. She says something at me that sounds like an angry crow, holds long scissors like a claw. The silver smiles malice at me. The crow nun reaches and I flinch, only to be caught by her other hand. Smashes my head so hard, blood blooms a berry patch on the clean white wall. Don't move after that. Not for a long time. Just sit there, staring, big-eyed, mute like an owl. Watch my hair fall wisps of something I used to be. That's part of my mother's story that she would later tell me, much later in my life. And for much of the time, I didn't know her story. So that was quite the first day of school, if you ask me. So she grew up in residential school without ever hearing the words, "You are special, you are smart, you are beautiful, I love you." Things that we as mothers say to our children every single day. And that alone is heartbreaking to know. But to know all the other things that she went through is torture, I suppose. But eventually she would leave under spectacular circumstances involving beating up a nun and causing a cafeteria riot. Epic ending to an epic story. But that is another story. If she were here, I'd probably get her to tell it because it's so awesome. But in my 30s, in her 30s, she married. She had 6 children. I'm the baby, for the record, the youngest, at a youthful 39. hanging on to the edge of 40, which will be in June.